A red bill sits on the kitchen table and it is quietly disappearing. Nobody touches it. The window is closed, the door is locked, and still by morning it buys less than it did yesterday. That is where finance begins. Not in a glass tower, not on a glowing Wall Street screen. It begins with one coin in your hand and one question staring back at you. Where should this go? Imagine you're 8 years old. Someone gives you $10 on a Saturday morning. The bill feels warm from their pocket. You fold it once, slide it into your jeans, and suddenly the world changes shape. The candy aisle gets brighter. The toy shelf moves closer. The arcade machine starts blinking like it knows your name. Money does that. It whispers options, but every option has a shadow. If you buy the candy, the toy disappears. If you play the arcade, the $10 dies one quarter at a time. Finance is just learning to see the shadow before the money leaves your hand. Most adults never learned this. They earn bigger bills, carry shinier cards, and still stand in the same aisle. Only now the candy is a car, the toy is a house, and the arcade machine is a phone screen offering buy now, pay later. The trap grew up with them. So let's make it small again. Picture 3 glass jars on a bedroom floor. One says spend, one says save, one says grow. You drop $4 into spend, 3 into save, and 3 into grow. The coins hit the glass with different sounds. Spend is for today, save is for a door you may need tomorrow. Grow is for a tiny machine that builds more money while you sleep. That third jar looks boring. It just sits there. But boring things can become dangerous if you understand them. Now walk into a bank. The floor is polished. The pens are chained to the desk. Behind the counter, a smiling person takes your money and gives you a number on a screen. It feels like your money vanished. But the bank did not put your dollars in a little drawer with your name on it. The bank lends most of it to someone else. Maybe a family buying a house. Maybe a bakery buying a second oven. Maybe a stranger you will never meet. Your sleepy dollars go outside and get jobs. For that, the bank pays you interest. A little thank you note, written in cents. But here comes the quiet problem. If the bank pays you 2% and prices rise 4%, you are not growing. You are shrinking politely. That shrinking has a name. Inflation. It does not kick down your door. It walks through the grocery store and changes the stickers. Milk becomes 3 at 49, then 4.19, then 5 out 29 while your money sits in a chair pretending nothing happened. Inflation is the thief who never runs. This is why saving is powerful, but saving alone is not enough. A jar protects money from your hands. It does not protect money from time. So people invented investing. Imagine planting $1 in a field. Not a magic field. A real one with storms, bugs, bad seasons, and long empty weeks. If the field is a good business, that dollar can grow into more dollars. A coffee shop opens another register. A shoe company sells in another country. A software company adds 1 million customers without building 1 million stores. When you own a tiny piece of those businesses, you own a tiny piece of their future. That is a stock. A small slice of a real company. But slices can bleed. One morning, the screen turns red. Your $100 becomes $92 before lunch. Your stomach tightens. Your thumb hovers over the sell button. This is the moment finance becomes psychology. Most people do not lose because numbers are hard. They lose because fear is loud. A falling price feels like a fire alarm. A rising price feels like a parade. Both can trick you. So beginners need a simple shield. Do not put every egg in one basket. You can see the basket in your hands. One stumble, one cracked sidewalk, and breakfast is gone. Diversifying means using many baskets. Some money in banks, some in broad investments, some kept ready for emergencies. Because life does not ask permission before breaking a tire. It just leaves a nail in the road at 7:12 on a rainy Tuesday. That is why you build an emergency fund. Not because you're scared, because you are not surprised. 3 to 6 months of basic costs sitting where you can reach it. Rent, food, lights, medicine. A quiet pile of cash between you and panic. Without it, a small problem becomes a credit card balance. And credit cards have teeth. Used carefully, they are tools. Swipe, pay in full, build trust with lenders. Used badly, they become a treadmill with velvet handles. You spend $500. You pay the minimum. The balance stays alive. Interest creeps over it like vines on an abandoned house. At 25% interest, debt does not sit still. It hunts. This is why the richest looking person in the room may be trapped. The leased car shines. The watch flashes. The restaurant photos look perfect. But behind the screen, payments line up like wolves at the tree line. Finance teaches you to ask a colder question. Who owns who? Do you own the car, or does the car own your Monday mornings? Do you own the house, or does the house own every free hour you have left? This is where a budget stops being punishment. A budget is not a cage. It is a flashlight. You shine it across the month and see where the money crawls away. $20 on snacks, $40 on subscriptions you forgot, $90 on delivery fees because dinner felt too far away. Nothing looks deadly alone. Together they form a leak. and leaks sink boats slowly enough that people keep dancing. The simplest budget begins before the month begins. You write your income at the top of a page. Then you give every dollar a job. Some dollars buy survival, some buy freedom, some buy joy, some march straight into the future and never look back. The order matters. If you save what is left, nothing may be left. If you save first, the future gets paid before the pizza place. Now comes the part that feels too simple to be real. A small amount repeated for years becomes a giant. Put $100 a month into an investment that averages 7% a year. After 1 year, it looks unimpressive. After 10 years, it starts breathing. After 30 years, it can pass $120,000. Not because you were a genius, because time did the heavy lifting. Compound growth is a snowball at the top of a hill. At first, it looks silly. Then it becomes hard to stop. But the hill needs one thing. You must begin while the snowball is still small. That is the part people delay. They wait for more income. They wait for confidence. They wait for the perfect app, the perfect market, the perfect moment. Meanwhile, time walks past them carrying a suitcase of money. Finance for beginners is not about becoming obsessed with money. It is about making money less mysterious so it stops controlling the room. Earn it, track it, protect it, grow it, share it when you can, and never confuse looking rich with being free. Because the child with 3 jars understands something many adults forget. Money is not the treasure, money is the map. And if you learn to read it early, you do not just find where the dollars go. You find who your life has been paying all along.